Hi, I'm Sally Thibault, and welcome to the masterclass, How to Not Gain Weight Over Christmas. Over the next 30 minutes or so, I'm going to share with you why this is such a critical issue this year, more than ever before, together with tons of tips and strategies in order for you to enjoy Christmas without restriction and not gain that weight. And I'm going to share with you how I can support you to do that. But first, let's get up this slideshow and we will get started. For those of you I haven't met, my name is Sally Thibault. I'm a wellness and weight loss coach with over 40 years experience in the fitness industry. With a little gap in the middle, I'll share with you why that happened. I'm also a professional speaker and counsellor. I'm the author of 3 books, David's Gift, Asperger's Life and Love, which was the reason we took that little hiatus after my son was diagnosed with autism in 1996. And it was the best thing we ever did because now he, as well as my 2 daughters, are happy, successful adults living and working overseas in their dream jobs. And I wrote a book about that journey. My second book, Tapping to Reclaim You, I'll share a little bit more later on, but it is how to reclaim your passion, power, and purpose in 30 days using the modality EFT, most often called tapping, and can truly change your life, let me tell you. And my third book, Stronger, Leaner, Lighter, how to release the weight that no longer serves you physically, emotionally, and spiritually as you age well, will be released in 2022. I'm also an EFT master trainer, having trained professionals, healthcare providers in this evidence-based psychology technique, and the host of the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter show that you can watch every Wednesday at 12 noon on Facebook and on Instagram. All right, let's talk about Christmas. Let's get started. To me, Christmas is about enjoyment, not restriction. It is a time for family, for friends, for great food, lots of wine and cocktails. It's a wonderful, wonderful time. And, you know, every other year except this one, that mentality about just enjoying Christmas and then I'll get back to it in January is no longer applies. It cannot apply. And I'll share with you why. You know, you can go back to 2019 and 2018, and that mentality was okay. Oh, you know, I'm going to enjoy Christmas. I'm going to have fun. You know, I'll eat whatever I like in December and drink lots of cocktails and have a great time. And then I'll think about it again when the kids go back to school or mid-January, I'll get started again. Well, 2020 changed that. In 2020, everything stopped. We were told to go home and spend 2 weeks flattening the curve. Funny that it's 2021, it's still going. And I think this year in particular has been most stressful for many people as we continually experience this uncertainty, unknowingness. Now, when that happens, it's like having to undo all our plans, and our low-grade stress and anxiety levels skyrocket. What's that? Low-grade stress and anxiety is when you're living in this uncertainty and not quite knowing what's going to happen next. Your body produces these stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline. It's the body's flight, fight, and freeze response. It's designed in order to give you energy in order to do something. We need some cortisol. We need some adrenaline. Wakes us up in the morning. But when we've got this constant low-grade stress and anxiety running in the body, it impacts on our health. Now, I believe 2022 is going to be a total year of mind-body reset. But you can't wait until January 2022 to do that. In order for you to feel well and strong, you have to deal with this low-grade stress and anxiety and look at life a little bit differently. Because for this reason, that low-grade stress and anxiety, cortisol and adrenaline that continues to run because of the uncertainty, unknowingness, when we don't do something with the flight, fight, and freeze response, that's what's flight, run. If you know, our back to the claw and fang jungle days where our cortisol and stress levels and adrenaline levels were high, that was in order to give us the energy to do something, to run, to stand and fight, or to freeze, to just hold. Now, what happens when we don't do that with the cortisol and adrenaline that's coursing its way through our body is that body lays that down as what we call visceral fat. And it particularly goes on around the belly. Now, there's there's 3 types of fat in the body, but I'm only going to talk about 2 in this particular masterclass for time constraints. So subcutaneous fat, that's the fat that years ago, 2018, 2019, we would say, oh, I put on a few kilos over Christmas. That's okay. I'm going to lose it again in January. Visceral fat, which is what most people are struggling with right now, lays itself down, and what it does is it wraps itself around the organs in your body. That's why people are struggling to lose this. They'll say, I've just gained this weight around my middle and just can't shift it. It's a heavier, denser fat, but it has been linked to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, some cancers and Alzheimer's. But the most important thing for us right now is those who carry more than 10% visceral fat in their belly are 137 times more likely to end up in ICU if they catch this virus, SARS-CoV-2, and 130% more likely to end up being mechanically ventilated. Now, if that doesn't scare you enough, a recent study out of the British Journal of Sports Medicine published in 2021, I don't know why this is not mainstream media, I have no idea why, but then that's for another masterclass. Inactivity increases the severity of SARS-CoV. Have a look at these statistics. People who were consistently inactive, now I'll just go back a little bit. That study was done over 48,000 people. 48,000 people who were diagnosed with SARS-CoV-2 between March 2020, April 2020, and October 2020. Of that, people who were consistently inactive, 226 more times more likely to be hospitalized, 173% more likely to be admitted to intensive care, and 149% more likely to die. These are people who were consistently inactive and subjected to the virus. So, as I mentioned, this is not the year to say, I'll do it tomorrow, later, after. Oh, I'll get back to it in January. This is not the year. Our borders internationally and internally are about to open. And we will be subjected not only to this virus, but many viruses, because that's what happens. That's life. Remember when your children first started daycare or preschool, how they all got sick and you all got sick. That was your body's way of building an immune system. So if you're not caring for your body right now, that focusing on that reduction of that visceral fat and looking at how you can best be positioned to have the best immunity, I want to just ask you something. It went out, that way we're thinking went out with leotards and headbands and leg warmers. That, it's okay, I'll do it later. It's not okay. You can't think like that. Because what will happen if you don't start looking after your health, later is too late. Later is too late. We have to start now. If you haven't been doing it up until now, now is the time to start. Because your health is your responsibility. What happens if you're out of action with a virus, any virus, it could be this one, the one we're all talking about, it could be any others. If you're out of action for 4 to 6 weeks, what happens to your family and your business? Your responsibility in this process and over this next period of time is to be prepared. And as I mentioned before, that whole way of thinking, oh, I'll wait till January, I'll wait till, Christmas is over, wait till the kids get back to school. That way of thinking went out in 1983. By the way, that photo is of me in 1983 when I thought my arms were fat. Give me a break. That's how we thought. It was like our bodies had on and off switches. Guess what? They don't. Our health is our responsibility. And as I mentioned before, I don't believe in restriction. How do you do this over Christmas? How do you care for your health over Christmas? I'm going to share with you how I believe is the best possible way with what I call the 10 principles of wellness. Not restriction, the 10 principles of wellness. Now, for brevity of this masterclass, I'm going to go through the first 4 on this show today, but I want to share with you quickly what they are. 1, eat consciously. 2, fast intermittently. 3, exercise mindfully. You know why those 3 are important. 4, sleep soundly. I'll explain to that why that's critical in a minute, and why, and what you can do over Christmas in order to help do that. Ensure you're getting good night's sleep. Drink water frequently, of course. Stay rehydrated. Meditate daily and tap regularly to reduce that stress, that visceral fat buildup. It's not just about food. In fact, it's very little about food, just quietly. We're going to look at your stress. Live purposefully. Do you know that people who have a purpose in life are more likely to make healthy food choices than those that do not? Forgive easily of yourself and others. This is really important to let go of those past stories that you're carrying that harbor that resentment. And over Christmas, this might be a very important one, just saying. And a number one, seek joy and celebrate often. The reason that is important is that has real implications to your brain. When you seek joy and celebrate often, your brain goes seeking ways to do that. So when you're setting goals and intentions, your brain becomes wired for success. Wonderful, wonderful practice to get into. So let's look quickly at the first 4, as I mentioned. So in the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter principle number 1, eat consciously, there's actually 5 aspects to this. As I mentioned, this is not about restriction, remember. This is not about restriction. Number 1 is to be intentional. When you're intentional about a decision, your brain actually works with you. You can't have 2 conflicting thoughts. You can't say, I want to be healthy, but, I'm going to eat anything I want and diet later. Because all your body hears is you're going to eat everything you want and diet later. It doesn't hear, I eat healthy. When you're intentional about what you want, I want to have a great Christmas. I want to eat well. I want to have lots of energy. And I want to ensure I'm releasing visceral fat. That's what your brain goes searching for. It supports you to do that. Number 2 is teaching you how to eat intuitively. I began this practice back in 1985. It was the best thing I ever did, from someone who had dieted most of my life and restricted my food and exercise like a maniac in order to, you sure what I look like. Moving to intuitive eating is what supported me over the last 35 years. I haven't dieted in 35 years, and my weight has changed a little bit, up and down, depending on babies, of course, and things that were going on. But when you learn how to eat intuitively and you work with your body, not against it, you get rid of that restriction mentality and begin to work with your body, what your body feels like. I want you to imagine a big table filled with Christmas food, turkey, prawns, ham, plum pudding, pavlova, ice cream, cocktails, champagne. And if you're looking at that table and you're thinking, I'm going to eat everything I want because, I'm going to go on a diet and I'm going to start all over again in January. That when you've got that restriction mentality going on, you're going to eat more because you think you're going to go out, because your brain's going to support you in that, because you're thinking I'm going to diet later on. So the brain goes, whoop, we better fill up on food right now. But if you believe that you can actually eat anything you want, your body is going to tell you what to do, because there is no restriction in diet. There is no binge and restriction. You're just going to eat well. You're going to have a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of it and totally enjoy it. It's a whole different way of looking at it. Your body works with you, not against you. We're going to look at informed. Eat consciously is about informed eating. Understand the foods that create inflammation for you. Understand the foods that drain your energy level. And it's not about not having them. It's about, okay, well, do I want to have this? It's a choice. I know this food doesn't make me feel good. Do I want to have it or not? You can have it if you want. But you just know, and you're not living in this total shutdown. We look at introspective in eating consciously. We look at why we make the choices we do. And Christmas is a perfect time to be looking at this, because we often eat food in order to numb stress or calm anxiety. But if you understand that and instead eat food for enjoyment, it's a whole different way of choosing. And the last one is implementation. And there's 5 aspects to that. But one I want to share with you is pace. In implementation, in implementing eating food is pace, slowing down your eating. When you slow down your eating, when you know that you're eating intuitively, you're eating consciously, you don't eat fast. You don't eat like there's no tomorrow. You don't eat like I'm never going to eat like this again. When you slow down, you allow your hunger and satiety hormone, ghrelin and leptin, to work properly. They'll tell you when you've had enough. But if you're shoveling food in and eating quickly because you think it's tomorrow, you're going to go on a diet tomorrow, that doesn't work. Principle number 2, and this is where this works beautifully with eating consciously, fasting intermittently. And can I tell you, when you do fasting intermittently properly over Christmas, oh my gosh, you are just not going to gain the weight. You're just not. Now, fasting intermittently, and it's not about going without food. We're talking about timing how you eat. So easy to do over Christmas. So easy. Now, the benefits of fasting intermittently, I'll share why that's in a minute for you. But autophagy creates autophagy, which literally means your cells detox. You're getting rid of all the toxin, giving your body a break, giving your cells a break to focus on detoxing and regenerating the cells rather than constantly shoving the food in. You give yourself a break, time break, 16, 8, 12, 12, 16, 8. Let me go explain that. So you fast for 16 hours and eat for a window at 8. You allow the body to do that. Fasting intermittently reduces inflammation. So going back to that conscious eating and informed eating, so, okay, I know bread causes inflammation. I know it's going to, make my stomach feel bloated and I'll feel a bit sluggish. Fasting intermittently reduces that. It gets rid of it. It releases inflammation because of the autophagy. Fasting intermittently increases your energy. Do you know our body's biggest demand of energy is digestion? That's why we all fall asleep after a big Christmas dinner, particularly turkey, which, contains tryptophan, which helps you sleep. But when you fast, it increases your energy. Your body's not constantly in that state of trying to digest. But fasting intermittently also reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes and may aid in brain function. Very important as we age. Principle number 3, exercise mindfully. Now, as I mentioned to you, it's so critical. There's no such thing as I'm going to put this off until January. This year's not the year to do that. This year is the year to be ensuring that you're exercising mindfully. And that's including strength, to build that lean muscle mass, to help with your immune system, form, making sure you're doing exercise correctly so you're not injuring yourself. Posture, nothing makes you look like you've lost a kilo or 2 than standing up straight. And when you combine that with your exercise, really simple and easy to do. Flexibility, of course, that helps reduce your risk of injury. It just gives you that sort of sense of being able to get up and down from a chair and move and pick up things without, reaching down and groaning. And of course, as I mentioned before, reduces the risk of virus severity. But in the stronger, leaner, lighter methodology, I teach you how to do that in 9 minutes. Not hours, 9 minutes. All of that in 9 minutes. Can you imagine just going to take 9 minutes to get all of that, including number 5? I'll share with you a little later on how that works. And of course, principle number 4, this is the last one I'm going to talk about today. Sleep soundly. Oh my goodness, study after study after study after study. Let me tell you, I'm reading at the moment where sleep is almost the number one thing we must focus on for our health. It regulates our hunger hormones. So when you are not getting enough sleep, leptin in particular doesn't work as properly, makes you eat more. Sleep boosts your metabolism. When you're not sleeping, your metabolism slows down. So that means when you're not sleeping well, not only are you hungrier and you don't know when you had enough, but your metabolism is slowed down. So you're gaining more visceral fat. Sleeping reduces inflammation. Again, going back to that, how to do all that, eating consciously, fasting intermittently, but also sleep soundly, reduces inflammation, helps the body to detox, increases executive function. You think more clearly. And over Christmas, we are all going to need to think more clearly this year, but it just helps you feel calmer and also promotes brain health. Exceptionally important right now. Now, I want to explain and share with you a little bit about how I can support you to implement all of this over Christmas simply, effectively, and easily so you can enjoy Christmas without restriction. And that's with the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter 10 Principles of Wellness 12-week online program that begins soon. Now, I just want you to imagine if you could start feeling well right now, because you will. You start feeling well right now. What difference will that make to the next month for you? If you felt energized, if you felt focused, if you felt clarity of thought, if you could go and enjoy everything about Christmas, from the Christmas parties, by eating consciously, using intuitive eating, by exercising, cutting that down so you only need 9 minutes in the morning or in the afternoon to do it. What difference would that make if you could go out and enjoy everything about Christmas and not gain that visceral belly fat? Because as I mentioned, this is not the year to be thinking about that. It's just not. The borders will open, and it is imperative that you are caring for your immunity, your health, not only for you, but for your family. You're not laying down any more visceral belly fat. In fact, you're beginning to lose it because you don't want to be at risk of the severity of this. And also just have more energy and vitality and be able to fit into those Christmas outfits beautifully. What difference would that make? And it would mean that you just move effortlessly through. You know exactly what to do over Christmas, still enjoy all the things about Christmas and not gain visceral fat. All right, let me explain to you, if that's something that's interests you, let me explain to you how this works. So first of all, on the Stronger, Leaner, Lighter 12-week online program, you receive weekly videos that are information, inspiration, and motivation. We cover everything in the 10 principles of wellness in short, sharp videos. Now, in particular, over the Christmas period, learning and training yourself how to eat intuitively is so beneficial. You can go out and have a great time, and by eating intuitively, you're going to know what to choose that is not going to put that weight on, because you're operating from your sense of intuition, operating with your body, not against it. As I mentioned, if you have a restriction mentality right now, you're going to overeat. That's the way it is. But you can still go out and have the cocktails and the champagne and all the wonderful things if you learn to eat consciously and to fast intermittently. So critical and so easy. And that's what we cover in these weekly videos. Now, on top of that, if you choose, I have some access to supplements, wonderful supplements by New Skin. One is the green shake, was unbelievable. This is just so full of wonderful nutrients, including chlorella and spirulina and beet juice, that can give you all the benefits of the greens that you may miss out on a little bit over Christmas. But you have this in the morning in a smoothie, and I'll share some of the recipes that you can make in a moment, share with your family, to know that you can actually go out and eat what you want over Christmas, but you have ensured that your body is healthy and you're putting the right nutrients in. They also have numerous supplements too, I've just put up here, but this is the TR90 Fit and Control. The control helps you with any sugar cravings. So while you're working on intuitive eating to release those sugar cravings, this can also help, and also to continue to build that lean muscle mass, increase your metabolism and your immunity over the Christmas period. And you really do want to be focused on that over Christmas. You know, really and honestly, Christmas isn't that long. You're not eating that much. It might feel like it, but it's only a couple of days, really, when you think about it. Here's a couple of ways you can use that green powder, for instance. The kids will love you for this. Chocolate smoothie in the morning. I do this with some fruit, almond or macadamia milk, a scoop of the protein, some peanut butter. I'm not fussed on it. My husband loves it. And some organic cacao, and blend that all up in the blender. Give it to the kids in the morning. They'll think you're wonderful. They'll think all their Christmases are coming once Mum's giving us a chocolate milkshake for breakfast. But when you're fasting intermittently, this is the way you come off that fast. So fasting intermittently, we're looking at 16-8 or 12-12. You want to end the fast, time-restricted eating, where you're just going to eat in a time-restricted window. So you finish eating, say, around 7 o'clock at night or 8. You wait 16 or 12 hours the next day, depending on the day, depending what's going on. And then you break the fast with this chocolate smoothie. Yum-o, I say to myself, ending a fast with a protein. But on the program, I teach you how to do this properly so that you get the best benefits from fasting. Have you had people say to you, oh, bring a plate of dessert, will you, for Christmas lunch? How about showing up with some protein rumbles, or if you don't like rum, you can add Baileys or Cointreau, with all the good things, including protein powder. They will love you for it because it tastes so good, and you'll feel like you are really having the best dessert whatever, And it's all full of wonderful things that are, again, giving you that great benefits of all that green nutrients and high levels of protein to keep your blood sugar levels high. And then the third one is this is a lovely one. This is a protein Christmas. So maybe you're hosting Christmas brunch. This is a great way. You just some coconut yogurt, some green smoothie powder, lots of berries or mango or banana, chopped with some pistachio nuts, again, building that protein, just again, coconut and some cacao nibs if you like. And that is a beautiful Christmas brunch lunch. So those are the things you can do with that green smoothie and powder. And on the 12 weeks, I teach you how to do lots more of that by implementing good nutrition into the food without going without. Now, as I mentioned before, I've created a signature 9-minute workout that you can do at home. So if you're saying to yourself, I don't have time for exercise, you've got 9 minutes. And you know what? If you've got kids, do it with them. They'll love this. This is full of enough high-intensity interval training aerobics. In other words, we go hard and fast for about 20 seconds, 3 or 4 times over the course of the 9 minutes, plus strength will increase your caloric body's ability to burn calories for hours afterwards. Studies have shown HIT is far more beneficial than a long, slow duration aerobic exercise. 9-minute workout that you can do at home in front of the TV, done and dusted. You can get on with the day and know that your body is burning more calories all the way through the day. Fantastic. And believe me or not, this 9-minute workout, I know it sounds too good to be true, but it works. I also throw in a 15-minute one if you don't believe me. We really focus on sleeping soundly. Sorry, just need to grab a drink of water. Sleeping soundly on this program. So we look at the foods to help you sleep. We look at timing of foods in order to you can still enjoy all the wonderful things. It's just timing, just how to time your food so that they are not impacting on your sleep. Sugar and chocolate in particular, wine, coffee, things like that. I'll show you in the program how you can time this so that it doesn't, and you're still going to get that good night's sleep. We're talking cycles of sleep, not hours of sleep, and we share that in the program. Also show you how to build your serotonin in the morning and increase your melatonin production in the afternoon by encourage you to get out in the sun for a couple of minutes in the morning and go for a walk at sunset. Beautiful way to increase the melatonin and help you get to sleep. Also in the 12-week program, to help you deal with the stress, you get access to a library of tapping videos. You get 2 specific ones each week, plus more tapping videos as the need arises. Now, this is essential. As I mentioned, for those of you who haven't heard about tapping, it's an energy psychology technique, a proven energy with lots of evidence base around it. And all you simply do is tap on the meridian points around the face and the body while you share the truth of how you feel, and it lowers cortisol significantly. Now, as part of this program, you also get as a bonus my Mastering EFT for Personal Use program, which is exactly what I use to teach healthcare providers how to use EFT. This is a series of 8 videos, including 3 videos to help you tap on food cravings: chocolate, bread, and chips. So if you're going out for dinner or a Christmas dinner and you know there's going to be lots of sweets, you do a couple of rounds of this tapping on those sugar cravings, chocolate craving, just tapping around the body. We show you in the videos. You can go and enjoy that, but can I tell you what? Those chocolate almonds, you'll only probably want 2 or 3, not the whole packet. Because when you reduce the emotional connection to the food, create that disconnect. In fact, under MRI has shown that the brain, the neurons actually rewire a little bit. When you reduce the emotional connection, you move into intuitive eating. Your body is satisfied with just a couple of these things, of chocolates and chips and bread, instead of the whole packet of everything. That all comes as part of this 12-week program, plus 20-minute meditation MP3s. I love all my meditation lying down with visualization meditation to help you feel calm as you're going into Christmas. And, when you feel calm, you make better decisions. When that stress lowers, when you're not frantic. And these visualization meditation MP3s that you can put on your phone are designed to do that, early morning, middle of the day when you just, I need a break, pop these on, have a little lie down, and you will feel wonderful. And of course, with the program, you also get my book. The 3 PDF downloadable resources, including the book, Tapping to Reclaim You, which is my book that I mentioned at the beginning. And this one is full of 30 tapping scripts. This is the type of book you put by your bed, and whenever you're feeling, I'm feeling anxiety, I'm feeling overwhelmed, that person's really annoying me, you use that tapping. You can just go to that. There's case studies in there to show you how they've used it and the outcomes. You also get my 2 and 20 principle, which helps you create habits in a short period of time, powerful habits in a short period of time, which in other words, helps you, allows you to do more in less time. A wonderful, wonderful practice. Everything's broken down to 20 seconds, 2 minutes or 20 minutes, everything that you do. And when you do that, your brain just kind of goes into ways of making things happen. It's a wonderful practice. And my clients have said that it just changed their lives. And also receive a PDF download on Introduction to Intermittent Fasting, where I teach you how to do it properly. Excuse me. Intermittent fasting is just, as I mentioned, the most wonderful thing you can do. Timed eating, so that you do it correctly, that you're finishing this fasting correctly. And can I tell you the simplest thing you can do over Christmas to help reduce that visceral belly fat. So all of that is available, and we are starting soon. Now, on top of all of that, we have a secret Facebook group for members only with daily accountability support. We're in there every day. We're talking about what's going on. I'm helping you stay accountable. We give questions answered, relevant studies. I'm always putting up studies there that can help you increase your information and your knowledge. Interesting podcast, books, and videos that you can share on certain topics. And extra tapping. If somebody is going through a struggle, you just pop in there. I'm really struggling. We'll hop on and do a tapping on live. And also all our call recordings, because we do have calls once a week. We have group calls where you can share what's going on. We talk about what's happening. We do extra tapping. There will be some changes to that over Christmas, obviously, with people coming and going on holidays, but they're always recorded and up in the group. All right, that's the 12-week Stronger, Leaner, Lighter program. Now, because this is a personalized program, because this is not a one-size-fits-all model, I will help you. I'd like to talk to you about if this is correct for you, if this is right for you. I'll pop a link below. If you go to my Calendly page, I will help you. We'll have a chat. What's going on for you? What's the best way of moving forward? What's the best intermittent fasting that's right for you, how you fit your exercise in, and if this is right for you, and I'll share all of that in the on a call about 20 minutes. So there's the link, and that will help you. Let's have a chat and see if this is right for you, because this year, more so than ever before, is the time to be caring for your health. And it starts with you right now. You are 100% responsible for everything you do for your life and your body. And you know what? I can't wait to help and support you in order to be stronger, leaner, and lighter, to release that weight that no longer serves you physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So you move into 2022 totally aligned, ready to go, and knowing that you're taking care of your health and well-being, not only for yourself, but also your family. So click on the link below, and I'd love to see you and have a chat to see if this is right for you. I look forward to talking with you on the call.